It's a Behind the Bitch check-in. It's a Behind the Bitch check-in. It's a Behind the Bitch check-in. You don't know what's going on if I don't check in. So it's a Behind the Bitch check-in. Hey, it's been a while. This is a check-in. I'm not doing the daily check-in anymore because A, I got sick of it, and B, people weren't watching because I think they were sick of it too. So why bother? So I'm going to check in only when I want to now. So you're just going to have to watch your Facebooks and your YouTubes and your Twitters to see if I'm going to be doing a check-in or not. I mean, it's usually about this time, sometimes a little earlier, whatever. But yeah, I have a lot to talk about, but I didn't prepare anything because, as you can see, I'm still in my work garb. So I worked a little bit extra hard today, and I didn't get a chance to change. So here I am. Anywho, I've got stuff going on. I've got so much stuff going on, and I want to talk about a lot of it. But instead of me talking about all the other stuff, I'm going to talk about this really cool show I'm going to be on Friday. I do want to remind you that we are an award-winning podcast. Behind the Bits is. We won the Discover Pods Awards for Best Interview Style Podcast, and that's beating the runner-up Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard and stuff like WTF with Mark Maron, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, just little podcasts like that. And it's all because of your votes. I got in because of the I was nominated and they selected me, but I won because you guys voted. So I appreciate that. And it's opening up new doors already. I've got publicists talking to me. I'm talking to people like Larry Hankin and stuff like that. I've got so many interviews lined up. I don't know what to do. So that's what's going on with me. But I want to talk about a little dealio that's coming up on Friday. It's Erin Patrick's second iteration of One More Dad Joke. And wouldn't you know it, I've got Erin Patrick here with me today. Hey, Erin. Oh, you've even got a mug.
Hey, thought I'd plug the merch here.
You rock. You even got a mug. I want to put you over here.
All right.
That way, when I look at you, it looks more like I'm looking at the camera.
Awesome.
Hey, Erin. We haven't talked for a while.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to try taking. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. My normal headphones got tore apart because I got a 3-year-old, and my backup ones apparently shouldn't be my backup ones. But yeah. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty excited about the show on Friday. Thank you, first of all, for having me on here on an award-winning podcast, which I did vote.
Thank you.
I voted for you. I just wanted to clarify that too. So.
Okay.
Man, no, but yeah, I'm super excited for the show Friday. The show is called One More Dad Joke. I produce the show, I host the show, book the comics, kind of do all the behind-the-scenes work as well, and get to do a little performing as well. But essentially, the show breaks down to comics come on. They get to perform 5 minutes of their best clean comedy, and then they just finish up their set with either their best self-written dad joke or their favorite dad joke. The last show we had 10 comics. I think it was about split half and half, where half the comics wrote their favorite one, which was my favorite one was Chris Wright he's a fellow Wright tenor from the Hot Breath universe, said, I tried to use a butter knife, but it melted. Something along those lines. So you can kind of see the highbrow humor that we bring.
Yeah.
But then other comics, like I know Emily Page, she did one. It was her favorite one from her childhood of, how to make a tissue dance, put a little boogie in it. Like, yeah. We got some old ones. We got some new ones. So if you love dad jokes, it's a great place to come and see some really, really good comics, perform 5 minutes, and then hear some, awfully humorous dad jokes.
Yeah, that's great. I put a link to the event in the comments there, so you folks you can just click right on the event and you'll see what's going on. And you invited me to participate in that, so I guess I'm going to be doing some jokes, huh?
Yeah. I think it's going to be fun. And this was before you won the award. So if anybody out there can I'm just jumping on the Scott Curtis bandwagon. No, I am, but I was there early. So yeah.
Yeah. So I actually am I'm expanding on some stuff I did about my kids. I've never done a whole lot of stuff about my kids. And so I want to make it a true dad joke thing. So I want to give you 5 minutes of solid dad material. So I've been working on expanding some stuff, adding to, and some new stuff. So there'll be some stuff Friday night that you've never heard come out of my mouth. So hopefully I'll have it practiced enough that it doesn't sound stupid. But that's what I'm going for. When you want me to do a dad joke thing and talk about being a parent, I'm going to do that. So that's what you get.
Well, little tip: if the beauty of doing Zoom comedy is you can literally have your set right in front of you, almost like a teleprompter.
Yeah.
You don't want to practice it because they can tell if you're reading it. But if you happen to wear glasses, just turn the brightness down on your screen. Otherwise, they can literally see the words as you're.
Yeah.
That happened to me early on in the whole Zoom comedy universe. I was on a show, I called in, and the guy's like, it was pretty funny, but I'd rather have somebody perform than just read the script. I can see it in your glasses. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so this is your second one. What was the basis for starting this?
So what I noticed is with my type of comedy, I'm just like a silly goofball. I love talking about being a dad, being married, being 30 and bald, which is very sad. My brother-in-law tells me it's my best bits or when I talk about being bald, or maybe he just loves making fun of me. I don't know, either one. But it kind of came from the fact that I didn't feel like where I currently am performing now and was getting on live shows that my type of comedy fit. And I started to feel myself starting to conform to the types of rooms that were doing shows close to me, more blue material, more edgy stuff, just, talking about the thing, like talking about like sex. And, I'm married. That's not relatable to me. So,
yeah.
So I just wanted to try to find, I was like, you know what? Instead of I can't find a show that fits my style, I'm going to try to make one. And just started doing research, contacting people that have done Zoom shows to see, the behind the scenes stuff. And then when I was coming with a format, as you know, we're both members of that Hot Breath universe, and they do a writing challenge every day. And I was getting a lot of one-liners and developing better dad jokes. And I thought, you know what? Why don't we just do this? Everybody says they love dad jokes. Let's make a show that's centered around it. And so people can still come on, do their normal material. If they want to do dad stuff like you said, you're preparing for Friday, that's great. I love it. The audience from last time really loves that. But they can really do whatever they want, but they just got to finish up with that one more dad joke. And it kind of just brings home the whole kind of vibe for the show. And I was super ecstatic. It came together really nicely. The first show got really good feedback from audience members, from the comics that were on there. And before the show, I had maybe like 8 or 9 comics that had reached out interested in being on there. I think I got like 40 or 50 emails of comics like, hey, can I be on the show? Here's my, my set, which is to be a new comic and to have comics start, like you get to see behind the scenes of like what certain comic, because some people would be like, hey, when can I be on your show? And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Then you see like how important it is to be professional, even if you don't consider yourself professional. Like, have a good introduction, say hello, tell them about you, have a bio ready, have a clip ready, have a headshot ready. Like all of that stuff makes it so much easier. And to be honest, I've gotten on shows basically for that. I don't think it's because the booker thought I was super funny, but it was because they just wanted somebody that's professional. And then they just happened to get somebody like me, who I happen to think is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, just kind of came from the idea of, I didn't feel like there were shows that fit my style, and now I have one, and I get to control it, and it's really cool. I'm sure you can relate. Like you said, I know when you started this podcast, you just wanted to talk comedy, and now you get to do that whenever you want. So
yeah, and I appreciate seeing obviously a clean show that come up because I'm clean. I work clean. I'm not. I cuss like a sailor, but in real life, but I am comfortable being clean on stage, and it fits the way I look and my persona, the way I talk and everything like that. So clean works for me. and I've been in the same case as you, performing live after, I don't know, 60 dick jokes, and then here comes Scott, talking about how he looks like an older Harrison Ford or something like that, and it still works. If you're committed to your material, then it still works. But it's kind of a change of pace. The show's going one way, and then I take it into the clean zone, and it'll be fun talking with a bunch of clean comics. So that'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I know, and to that point about how being on a show where you feel like you have different style and worried about not fitting. I know eventually I'm going to hopefully get good enough that it doesn't matter who goes on before me, who goes on after. But right now, I'm still a younger comic. I'm under 2 years in, and I just want to develop and try to, I keep hearing everywhere, you got to find your voice. And I feel like for me, right now, it's being goofy, it's being silly, it's talking about being a dad, throwing out dad jokes every once in a while, silly one-liners, and I'll develop different things over time. But, now I got a place where I can continue to try to see, is that really the best thing for me? Maybe I end up being a blue comic 5 years from now and telling hilarious penis jokes or whatever it is. But right now, that's just not me. And that's one of the things that I love about the whole Zoom comedy universe is you could at 5 o'clock on a Friday say, you know what, I'm going to do a new show and it's going to follow this format. And I guarantee you could probably reach out to a handful of comics, put it together, put it out there. And if people like it, then you go with it. And if not, then you change it. And, I didn't have the ability to host my own show and bring in comics. But we had comics on the show last time from 3 different continents. We had somebody was on at 5 a.m. in India, somebody was on in Australia, Scotland, all over the US, and even a couple local comics. And it's, again, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of negative stuff about the whole Zoom universe and being online. And yes, it's not perfect. It's nothing compared to the real thing, but it's, it's helped me develop, I feel like, more as a comic. And now I get to do this, and that's how we met through.
Yeah. And I think the thing with comedy is just saying it out loud, and being able to say it out loud wherever you are is fine. I've heard another comic say they did one show and one Zoom show and they're done. But it's, if you've got that luxury, if you're that well known, then that's fine. But the rest of us are still trying to develop their craft and trying to get their name out there. So shows like these are great, and it's at a great time because my wife and we can't travel. We can't go see the kids for Thanksgiving because we're doing the right thing and staying away from them. And a lot of people are in that. So you're having the day after Thanksgiving, when after the football or most of the football or whatever, I don't know about sports. The football's being played after most of the games have been played. And right there, 8 o'clock, there you go, have some fun.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, the fact that the show's on, like you said, 8 o'clock on Black Friday is not a coincidence. I went through and figured out and talked to comics, and I said, you got experience. You've done shows around this time in the past. When's the best? They're like, the day after Thanksgiving. People are tired of being with their family. They need an escape, and sure, they can't go out to the bar and watch a show, but they can sit back, have a couple drinks, and have a good time. And being that it's that whole dad joke, there's that family vibe, and I'm sure some people have some jokes venting about that kind of stuff. Like I'm working on some stuff about, I love my brothers to death, but they've given me 30 years of good material. I just gotta, I gotta whittle it down to see if I can get some gems out of it. Do I whittle to get gems? I don't know. Anyway, so.
Well, that's great. So the show, once again, what's the time and date of the show?
So it's this Friday, November 27th. It's at 8 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, because I know we got comics from we have one, Erin Crouch. She's going to be performing from Germany, which I think, if I got my time zone right, it's going to be like 2 or 3 in the morning. Pretty awesome. She's super committed to the virtual comedy game. So if you don't know about her, you should definitely look her up. But yeah, it'll be this Friday, 8 p.m. It's just a little over an hour show. It's free. Just sign up on Facebook for the event. I'll be posting the Zoom link that day. We do accept donations for the show as well. I am paying the comics kind of out of my own pocket. So if we end up getting some good donations coming in, then we can pay him a little bit more, which is, I think, a great thing because, there's so many awesome comics right now that are just kind of hanging on. And I don't want them to kind of fall by the wayside and we lose them, because I think there's going to be a whole generation of comics that are going to come out of this whole thing that people have not heard of, that are going to be so ready to go, hit the ground running. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm doing a hopeful live show here this coming weekend. It's like a new comics competition, and as long as everything doesn't get shut down by Sunday night, we'll get to go. And I feel like I'm going to be able to hit that stage running where some other people, this might be their first time performing live in 6 months because they decided not to do the Zoom show stuff.
Right.
We'll see.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, me too. And thank you for having me on this award-winning podcast. And I made sure it's all shared across, my social media stuff as well. But you can find us on social media at It's Just One More Dad Joke on Facebook. And my light just fell. It fell off of my laundry bin, which is holding it up right now. I'm trapped in my room because my 3-year-old is home from daycare and my wife is downstairs finishing her work day. But anyway, it's One More Dad Joke on Facebook and on Instagram are the two main places that you can find us. And I am just at Erin Patrick Comedy. And if you are a comic out there interested in checking it out, just shoot me a message. I would love to check out your stuff and see. Right now it's a monthly show. The next one after this month will be December 18th, the Friday before Christmas. But hopefully in 2021, I'm thinking about maybe expanding out to twice a month because, like I said, there's a lot of comics that seem really interested and eager to get on, which is great, a good sign. And hopefully there's people eager to come out and watch and check it out. I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of work. Thank you for doing it.
Yeah, no problem. Same to you.
All right. Well, folks, this has been the check-in. I'm going to have to check in again this week simply because there's stuff I forgot to upload. I was busy. So I'll probably check in not tomorrow, but maybe, Wednesday. Yeah, I might check in Wednesday. I don't know. I've got my calendar is full. That's great. But yeah, I'm going to try to check in again to let you know about the Indie Pods annual something. Anyway, I'm doing a live stream podcast and 20 minutes of comedy for that. So we'll see how that goes. That's next Thursday I'm doing that. So yeah, I'll try to check in. But Erin, thanks for doing what you're doing. And I will see you on Friday.
Yes, sir.
With brand new jokes and stuff.
Awesome. Can't wait.
All right. Thanks, folks. Thanks for listening to the podcast.